What up, everybody? This is Global Fight Talk. On the line, I have Mike the Truth Jackson. Mike's going to be making his MMA debut next month in Las Vegas, UFC 196 to be exact. He's going to be taking on Mikey, who's undefeated 1-0. But Mike is no stranger to the fight scene. Mike is currently a pro boxer. He's 2-0 with 2 knockouts. He's also a pro kickboxer, 1-0 with 1 knockout. And he's also had a handful of amateur fights. Mike, what's going on?
Nothing much. I'm actually about to get some strength and conditioning here in a few minutes, but I'm just feeling great, ready to get this fight going on.
How exciting is that? You're making your MMA debut under the one of the biggest organizations out there. I mean, UFC. How exciting is that?
I mean, it's wild. You know, I never thought I would be making my pro MMA debut in the UFC, but, you know, things happen for a reason, and I'm just happy to be here and enjoying this whole ride.
You know, you got to enjoy that ride. I mean, not everybody gets an opportunity like that. Not everyone can ever say that I fought in the UFC. There's a lot of MMA fighters that wish they were even on that platform, and here you are. Mike, like I said, it's a great opportunity. And one of the things I've noticed about you, because we're going to be talking about your opponent in a second, but right now it's all about you. One thing I've noticed about you, because I saw some of your clips, and I also cornered against you in your boxing. But one thing I've noticed is that you're very calm, Mike. You're extremely calm. And when I was watching your kickboxing fight on Legacy, the guy came out strong, and you just stayed relaxed. Now, where does that come from? Is it because you train with Derek Lewis and all these other guys at 4 rounds?
You know, I don't know. I stay calm under pressure. You know, for me, you can't let the lights and all that. You can't let what your opponent's doing get to you. You know, so and then that's just me personally. You know, naturally. You know, even whether I'm fighting or, you know, whether I'm, you know, shooting photography, you know, that's just me. I mean, it does help, you know, to stay cool under pressure because you get to examine the entire situation. You know, those people who get nervous or fidgety or, you know, don't respond well, you know, they make mistakes. And, you know, you make a mistake in this sport, you know, it can be a career ender.
Right. Exactly. Well, you know, the crazy thing about it, you being so young in your career, not everyone has the capability to stay calm, and that is a great attribute for someone like yourself who's still young in their career to have. Now, let's talk about the people that you train with, and you train at 4 Ounce in Houston, right?
I train at a few places, 4 Ounce,
okay.
And also train at Houston Muay Thai. As my 2 fight gyms, and also get boxing in at Savannah Boxing. Being who I am, I'm able to.
Oh, Savannah Boxing, yeah, that's that's a hell of a boxing gym to come out of.
Yes, it is. You know, but me being who I am, the personality, I'm given access to a lot of opportunities and a lot of coaches that a lot of people aren't fortunate to have. I mean, right now I'm getting my strength and conditioning at a spot called the Athletic Performance Lab. I mean, this is where you have some top college athletes that are getting ready for the NFL Combine, you know. So I'm fortunate enough to have these opportunities to just get the best training everywhere. Right.
Well, Mike, you're obviously known as a striker. You're a boxer, kickboxer. So you're striking, you know, everybody's going to know that about you. Your guy who's a grappler, so, you know, it's grappler versus striking. How well is your grappling? Are you concentrating more on your ground game for this fight, or are you just going to keep doing you and, you know, how you've always done? Well, it is MMA, so you have to focus on other things.
Right. Well, I mean, for me, I'm going in there to impose my will and do what I do best, and that's knock people out, you know. Am I focused on the ground? Yeah, of course. You know, the dude's a brown belt. You know, he's legitimate on the ground, but he has to get me there first. And, you know, so I'm definitely working on takedown defenses and just avoiding the grappling exchanges. You know, this guy, he says that he wants to stand with people. I know when they offered him the CM Punk fight, he was talking about how he was going to stand with CM Punk and he wasn't going to take him down. And maybe he'll try to do that with me as well. But I guarantee one punch is going to change his whole
it changes
plan.
things, right?
Yeah, and for me, I have power in both hands. I've knocked people out with the right and the left. And again, so once I touch him, he that whole game plan of standing with Mike, the truth, is going to go way out the window. He's going to try to get it to the ground as fast as possible.
One thing you do have, I must say, is power. Obviously, you're undefeated in boxing and kickboxing, and all by knockouts. And like I said, when I was getting ready to interview you, I watched your kickboxing fight, and I was sitting there talking to my husband. He goes, "Man, that dude Mike, man, he got power punching skills," and that another great attribute to have along being calm. The thing about you just said about Mike or Mikey, he was discovered by Dana White. Obviously, Dana was doing a show about, just trying to find fighters, and how Mikey got on is by calling out CM Punk. And, of course, Dana was looking for an opponent for CM Punk because he's been signed with the UFC for a year or over, or a little bit over a year. And so now, in order for Mikey to fight CM Punk, he has to get through you first. So you beat Mikey. We're going to go ahead and say that. You beat him. Does that mean that you get to fight CM Punk?
No, it's not a guaranteed shot against CM Punk, but with me being the personality and having the charisma that I have, it only makes sense to put me in there with CM Punk.
Right.
They bring this guy in. They invest all this time and money into him. It only makes sense to try to maximize the revenue with him. You get a Mickey Gall who's in there with him. No one knows who Mickey Gall is really, so it's going to be hard to maximize the profits. Now, if you just have CM Punk alone, of course people are going to want to watch that. But this is a business. The UFC is a business. It's not just, throw him in there with anybody. So when you get CM Punk, you sign him, let's make the best of this because he only has like a couple of fights, and he fights me. He's not going to fight again, because Mickey Gall, this is going to be a tougher fight for me, obviously, but with CM Punk, look, I'm knocking him out in the first round. There's, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Well, I'm glad you're saying Mickey Gall because I'm saying Mikey. So, correction, it's Mickey. It's Mickey.
Yeah, it's Mickey Gall.
Mickey Gall. Okay. Well, Mike, let me ask you this. When you got that call for the UFC, everybody knows Mike. Yes, everybody knows, Mike, that you fight, but you also you're big in the fight scene. I mean, you blog about it, you take photos, you do interviews, all over from Houston MMA scenes. I mean, just all over. So when you got that call, did you think, okay, they want me to do some photography, they want me to do something in media in the UFC? Was your first thought?
Well, actually, not everyone knows I'm a fighter, apparently. Someone posted a picture saying I was fighting in the UFC, and they were like, well, I just thought he took pictures.
Okay.
But no, actually, the fight was supposed to take place on a legacy. Well, when they first offered me the fight, it was scheduled to be on, or they told me at least, that it was going to be on Legacy 51 in Minnesota. I really couldn't understand everything Colin, the announcer and matchmaker who called me, I couldn't understand what he was saying. And to the end, but I honestly thought they were flying me out to Minnesota to take pictures of this guy. And then at the end of the conversation, I was just like, okay, what does this have to do with me? And he was like, hey, do you want to fight this kid? And I was like, let me think about it, and I'll get back to you. Because I didn't know the whole details. And then Mick Maynard, the promoter, I guess he could sense that maybe I really didn't want it. I didn't know the whole details, and I didn't want to jump in anything. And he ended up calling me, giving me all the details, and then, of course, I accepted the fight.
Awesome. So you're going to write this out, and hopefully, you'll be able to, stay in the UFC. Again, that's a great opportunity. I know everybody's coming out the woodwork in interviews. I know you're booked with interviews and, taking photo shoots and training. Of course, I'm one of them who reached out and said, let the interview the interviewer. So I appreciate your time. And, I really do appreciate your time because as a fighter and as someone who does, who's, in the fight scene and, social media and all that stuff, it's hard to do everything when people want it to do. So I do appreciate you. But let's talk about this before we wrap things up. You recently graduated from the University of Houston. Congratulations on that.
Do the ankle thing. Thank you. Yeah.
So what was your major? I mean, what was your major?
I majored in sociology with a minor in African American studies.
Okay.
With that,
so something totally different that you do.
For sure, yeah. Way different. But, I'm a man of many talents, and many interests. So I just, I like to stay busy with a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I definitely do understand that. Well, listen, like I said, I do not want to take up too much of your time. I know you're on your way to get some training done. I just want to wish you the best of luck in everything. I mean, you're doing big things. I mean, this is a great opportunity. So many things are going to be happening after you make your UFC debut. Not only is your name attached to Mickey, I don't know why I call him Mikey, because yours is Mike, and I'll say Mikey. Mickey is that name is also attached to CM Punk. So you're going to get all this pub because of that. And I know that there's a lot of bloggers out there that's posting about it. I know, Cyborg posted about this, and I don't know.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, she did. She, Cyborg had just recently signed with one of some media outlet to post about everything going on, just like BJ Penn, and she posted about you. Yeah, you need to go look it up. She posted about that, and of course, I didn't read all the comments, but I didn't see no negative comments about you. I mean, it all came from Mickey. But like I said, congratulations, great opportunity. Congratulations on your debut, UFC debut. Congratulations on graduating from the University of Houston. Any last-minute shout-outs you want to give before we wrap this whole thing up?
I just want to give a shout out to my team, 4 Ounce Fight Club, Houston Muay Thai, Athletic Performance Lab, and Savannah Boxing for helping me out. Everybody check me out on my social media, @TheTruthJackson Jackson on Instagram and Twitter, and Mike the Truth Jackson on Facebook.
Well, there you have it.
Thank you for having me as well. I can't forget
definitely.
You hit me on it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Good luck, and Global Fight Talk here with Mike the Truth Jackson. You should make sure to check him out next month. And you're going to be on UFC Fight Pass. Don't let me forget to say that. It's UFC Fight Pass for those that have that. Don't forget to support your local fighter. He's based out of Houston, and making big things. You know what? Talk to you soon, and I'll definitely be watching.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Thanks.